Hello. How art thou, Amina?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Candid Conversations. Let's go.
All right,
Let's go.
Robin, we need to get
Candid
a song.
Conversations with me and my sister. Candid Conversations. Won't you join in with us? Candid Conversations with me and my sister. Candid Conversations. Won't you
Won't you?
join with us? What were you saying, Amy?
We're gonna have to get some music to go behind
Oh yeah.
the song. And then
Oh
there's
yeah.
another delay this week too. I don't know what's going on with the technology.
Oh, that's okay. We'll work with it. We'll work with it.
Okay. All
I
right.
see some people joining us, Amy. As you enter in, please like and share the video. Leave your comments. Tell us where you're watching us from. We are here and ready to talk and ready to discuss these topics, aren't we, Amy?
Yeah, we are
Ready
ready
to get
to
into it.
get into these topics. Um, So, for those who want to know who I am, my name is Amina, and I
Hmm.
help business owners navigate challenges by guiding you to clarity. So, if you need a different perspective, contact me.
And I am Robinette Reed. If you want to check me out, I'm at robinettereed.com. I have music. I'm a gospel singer, so I have some music out there in CD Baby, Amazon, iTunes. If you want to check out my music, I also motivate. I'm a motivator, an encourager, an inspirer. I'll get the battery jump started for you.
Well, you know what? A lot of people need that. Some people need that motivation. So, especially in this time
Oh
that we're in
yes.
right now. So,
Oh yes. So we
but
want to give our
welcome.
disclaimer, Amy. The disclaimer, and then you get jump into it. The disclaimer:
Yes,
we are not representing any church. We're not representing any entity or any job. We are representing ourselves. These are our own thoughts and our own commentary on various subjects that we just want to put our little touch and spin on. Right, Amy?
yeah,
I'm
we'll
representing
put
Robinette Reed, and you are representing.
Amina.
All right.
And yes, we're putting our little twist on it because I figured everybody's talking about it anyways. Why not have the conversation openly instead of,
Yeah.
you're going to get on the phone, you're going to send a text, you're going to send a video. Did you guys see this? So we might as well go ahead and have the conversation out loud. I would like to hear, Robin would like to hear your
Yeah.
thoughts on the matter. Okay.
That's right. We'll dig
So
into it. Peel the onion back.
yeah, so we don't want to hear all that y'all gossiping. No, we talking about the same thing you talking about.
Yeah, we
Okay?
just putting it on there. We want to get your input. That's all.
We want to get your input on it. We should be able to have open dialogue about that. But anyways, so this weekend you treated yourself, huh?
I treated myself this weekend to what?
I don't know. You said that you treated yourself. You ended up buying some clothes or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was. I just bought some items and stuff for myself for Christmas. I found out that I generally just buy stuff for other people, my kids, my husband, and then Amy, I got all the way to the car, and then I turned around and went back in the store and said, you know what, I'm getting ready to splurge because I had not bought myself anything, and I said, you know what, never mind. I went right back in there and I spent some buckaroos on myself. I sure did.
Buckaroos.
I
Well,
sure
that's
did. I
good.
felt
That's
good
good.
about it too.
That's good because a lot of times we do forget about ourselves, and we're always buying stuff for other
Yep.
people. And then we look around, we're like, I don't have no new clothes. So I'm glad you went back in there and got
Hmm.
your new clothes, and you feeling good because it feels good. You know what I mean? You buy
Yeah.
something, you get your hair done and all that, and you feel good about yourself.
That's so true. So true. But please like and
So
share the video as you enter in, everybody. Don't forget, we want to spread the word that we are on live.
exactly, exactly, and we
Right.
And you know what? We're working through this delay, so bear with us because I'm hearing a delay. There's a delay. So, anyways, so I wanted to retouch or recap, I should say, the COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
uh, information that you provided last week because that information was good. And the media is not talking about, and this is from what I've seen, they could be talking about it, I'm not sure, but they're not talking about who should not take the vaccine. So I wanted you
Right.
to recap and reiterate, talk a little bit about the vaccine, high level overview, high level, high
Oh yeah.
level. Oh yeah,
So,
okay. You know how you run off sometimes. So high level
anyways,
overview.
but everybody, the vaccine is available, and I want everybody to know I'm getting my vaccine. I'm scheduled for tomorrow, and I'm excited to get that done. Um, the high level overview is if you are well enough or healthy enough to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. People who should pause for the cause are people who are 16 and under. You can't get it. Um, People who um, have an autoimmune problem and people who are pregnant. Those individuals um, probably gonna have to wait around for the next go round because they're still doing research and doing studies. But for now, those people need to just hold back from getting the vaccine this round. Also, and I did a little investigation work on. I said last week that if you had anaphylactic reactions in the past to anything, you should be cautious about getting the vaccine. And I went to the CDC and I found out that if you've had an anaphylactic reaction to a vaccine or to medication in the past, you can still get the vaccine, but they're going to make you stay 30 minutes. They'll observe you longer because of that history of anaphylaxis. And so, um, but if you go through the ingredients on the vaccine and you find out that you have an allergic reaction to any one of those ingredients, then you should not, you should pause from getting this vaccine. You should hold back. But some people, if you're pregnant, if you're 16 and under, if you have an autoimmune condition, then you are going to have to stand back for this vaccine, and you just continue with your regimen of vitamins, vitamin E, vitamin C, and get your immune system boosted up, energy, exercising, and healthy eating to make sure that you have an immune system to fight off the virus in case you get it.
Okay, and by the way, Robin is a nurse practitioner and she clarified she is contracted with most insurance companies. So you can select her as a primary care physician. You just need to call your medical insurance provider and just make sure that she's contracted with the insurance and she could be your primary care.
Yes. They're
And
saying hello, baby. Everybody's saying hi. Sister McCowan is Diana McCowan is on the line.
oh, hey, Miss
Hello,
McCowan.
Brenda.
Who?
Psalmist Brenda. Uh, I'm not for sure how you pronounce her last name. And Mom is on. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Thanks for
hello,
joining
everybody.
us.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. So
Yes, Brenda. She said she didn't even know that, Amy. She didn't know that those were some things that you had to pause and wait for as it relates to the corona vaccine. But yes, Brenda, that is so true. You have to wait. If you're autoimmune, Amy, deficient, you got HIV and things like that. If you're pregnant, if you're under 16, if you had an allergic reaction to a vaccine in the past, those are some things to pause and to ponder. Go ahead, Amy.
okay. So another question that I wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
because there's been a lot of loved ones and family members and friends that have contracted the COVID-19. What are
Yes.
the risk factors as far as being around someone who's recovered from COVID-19, if
So,
any?
um, So the thing is that people have a misnomer that I wanted to clarify or to add insight to. So if you have had the virus and you've done your quarantine of 10, or they're saying now 7 to 14 days, Okay, so you quarantine now. You have no symptoms. You can now go back to your work. You can go back to your job wearing the mask like everybody else and washing your hands just like everybody else. Unless you're still coughing or unless, sorry, my volume must have went down. Unless you're still coughing, unless you still have fever, then you have to extend your quarantine to about 20 days. But as long as you are back to feeling fine, you go back to life as usual, just like the rest of us. Put your mask on, you wash your hands. And some people are acting like people got the bubonic plague once they've uh, once they contracted this virus. And I'm like, no, if you already had the virus, then you better off than me. You better off than somebody who uh, close that door, please. Close the door. Excuse me, y'all. Close the door. So you're better off than the person who has not built up the antibodies. You're at an advantage because you've built up antibodies. So now you had the virus. You're good. Now the studies are saying that you're only good for 3 months because as far as the studies have shown, they only study because it's new. Eventually, I've already seen some articles that are saying you have immunity for 6 months. They're kind of extending it out because it's new. So more and more information is coming out every day. So that's why you see the CDC always updating, changing guidelines. Every week we get something new. So if you've already had the virus, don't worry about it. If somebody's had the virus in the choir, it's okay. It's not like they're going to give you anything as long as they quarantined and did their time. That's why I want to let everybody know. Don't be afraid. They're back to life as normal. That's what I wanted to say. You
Because
know?
I can no, I do know what you're talking about because I can see how someone could be afraid that they may catch it or that germ is still lingering around or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I can understand that. What's her name? Jennifer Robinson said something.
Jennifer Robinson, the singer of all singers, says,
Oh, really?
"Hey, ladies, great info. Thank you so much." Diana McCowan says, "Hello, amino acid." And Robin, hey.
That
Mom
is
says, "How many
funny.
days are you contagious after you get the virus?" After you get the virus, you are contagious for between 7 to 14 days. They used to say 14 days and they said 10 days. Now they're saying 7. Like I said, the guidelines are always changing. 7 to 14 days, you are contagious. So that's why you have to stay home and quarantine. So you may not have any symptoms, but you may pass it on to someone else whose system is not too strong and you can kill them. But because you think you're all right, you just like, I'm fine, and you just want to go about your daily life. But we have to be cautious and conscious of others and quarantine for the days that your provider tell you to quarantine.
Okay, that's some good information. And if you guys have questions about COVID-19 or any medical questions, we have Robin here to answer any of those questions. If you have something that you want to ask her, someone said something in the comments.
Yeah, Brenda says, my mom tested positive for COVID-19. We all live in the house with her. No one else picked up the virus. I'm the only one that had all symptoms, but I tested negative. It's confusing about the virus. Yes, you are so true, Brenda. Because the virus reacts differently and people have different symptoms, the symptoms go to no symptoms to have almost dead symptoms. Can't breathe, coughing, high fever, diarrhea. The symptoms vary. Some people just have a little body ache. Some may have a little sore throat. The symptoms vary. It is confusing. But the best thing is for everybody in that house to quarantine so that you guys, even because the thing with the virus is if someone tested positive in the house and then people are going in and out, in and out, in and out, it's very highly likely that anywhere through that contagious period, you could get that virus and give it to someone else. So it's better that everybody just relax, quarantine for those 7 days, and then go on as life as usual. I'm glad your mom is doing well, though. Sounds like she made it on through. Thank God for that.
Yes. And do we have any other questions? Oh, Miss McCowan, you're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We
You
knew
are
that a
welcome.
lot of people had a lot of questions. So
Hmm.
Robin works in that field. So it's good that she's on providing this information.
Free of charge. Ain't charged you a dime. Oh,
Are there any other
okay.
questions coming up
Another
on the
question,
screen?
Amy. Mom says, how important is the contact tracing, HDHS? Yes, contact tracing is very important. I think that's one of the things that we've been slacking in this in this country. I'm not sure about other countries, but once you test positive, the Centers for Disease Control or your state department will call you and they'll send you a text or they'll send you or call your home, tell you you're positive because they're trying to keep track of that individual. Now they leave it up to you to now contact those people that you were in contact with to let them know that you tested positive so that they can go get tested to make sure that everybody stays safe. So contact tracing is very important. They did a study in Taiwan, and Taiwan they took this virus head on. They had already had previous experience with other respiratory viruses that they've had in the past. So as soon as they found out about coronavirus, they put the masks on. They quarantine people. They trace people. They track you. It's very crucial. That is a big piece of getting through this pandemic quicker. Is if we can trace people and then get them quarantined and then move forward. Amy, there's a lot of
Okay.
questions coming through. Oh, she's in ICU. Oh, your mom
Oh,
is in
okay.
ICU. Oh, it is well with her in Jesus' name.
Also,
Oh,
if you have a question and you want to come on live with us, we can send you the link through Messenger. So let us know if you want to join us live to ask your question,
yeah.
or you can put it in
Everybody,
the comments.
everybody, please lift up Brenda's mom in prayer at some point throughout this day, just that she makes it through this ICU stay intact and doing well. What's her name? We got a lot of preachers and pastors online too. Um, Diana McCowan says vitamin D, E, and all of the other vitamins they say once contracted the what take once contracted the virus. It is good before contracting. I think what she's trying to say is it okay to take those vitamins before contracting the coronavirus? Right, Amy?
Yeah, it looks like she's asking if these vitamins will help you or prevent
These vitamins are
you from
excellent.
probably contracting the virus.
These vitamin D, vitamin E, I'm not sure about E, but vitamin D for sure, because that plays a part in your immunity. So vitamin D, and African Americans have low vitamin D levels anyways, because the melanin in our skins kind of blocks us from absorbing the vitamin D. So um, if you go to your primary care provider as a Black person, your vitamin D level will be low, 9 times out of 10. I had mine checked; it was very low. Uh, I take the vitamin D. I know vitamin C. I know zinc is good. Of course, all the B complexes are great. Um, it's good while you have the virus or before you have the virus. It's better before because you can boost up your immune system. You can build up your immune system to help you fight if you were to contract the virus. So yes, vitamins are huge. And somebody praying for Brenda's mom. Amen. Um, ADHS offered no information about contact tracing. Just tell people to call 211 in if they need help. Okay, dial 211.
And what is ADHS? What does that stand for?
Yeah, Mom, what does that stands for? I think it's supposed to be the Department of Services, Human Services. Arizona Department of Human Services. Is that?
Well,
I
yeah,
think that's
because
what you're saying.
if she's just giving that information related to Arizona, that only applies to Arizona. So I
I
just want
think
to make
that's
sure
Arizona Department of
what
Health
that
Services.
acronym stands for.
Yeah. Diana's saying yes, get a jump start. Take vitamin C, D for sure. Um, zinc, green tea, homemade chicken soup. Oh, she naming everything. She naming every Arizona Department of Health Services.
Okay, all right,
So that would
Arizona.
just be limited to the people in Arizona.
Yes,
But
that's
every state
limited.
has their own Department of Health Services that they can contact if they need further information. And every state is dealing with coronavirus differently because there was no federal strict guidelines and mandates. You know what I'm saying? So for sure,
Right.
every state moving forward differently.
Mm-hmm. And remember, you guys can come on live if you want to ask your question as well. So you would just let us know in the chat.
Yeah. All right. I think we've answered some questions. I don't know if anybody got anything else to ask related to coronavirus vaccine. I am getting mine tomorrow for those of you guys who came late. I am advocating all my patients, everybody that I know, to get the virus, get the vaccine. I keep saying that.
See, this is the second time you done got on here and said that.
The vaccine. And as long as you are healthy enough to get the vaccine, let's clarify that. Only if you are healthy enough to get the vaccine.
Okay. So now we're going to switch gears and change the subject
All
and
right,
talk
shift
about
from
and talk.
level one gear to level two.
Yeah, let's switch the topic.
Mhm.
So, and then give them the reminder about being able to join on.
Oh yeah. As we delve into various topics on this evening, if you want to come on live, all I'm going to do is send you a uh, link to your messenger, and I'm going to send you the link, and you just click the link, and it'll bring you on live, and we'll let you chat with us if you want to. You can join us live and in living color. You're welcome. You're
And
welcome. You're welcome.
and uh don't forget to put it in the chat. Whatever your questions you have, put it in the chat. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Robin, there was an
Yes.
incident on Clubhouse that you heard about. See, you're not even on Clubhouse. I'm on
Right.
Clubhouse. I didn't even hear about it.
Right.
So tell us about the incident that you heard, and then I'll jump in and fill in some
Okay.
gaps if there's some gaps.
Okay. So Clubhouse, of which I'm not on, it's a new social media app, I believe, that's available to people who have iPhones. But I have the beautiful Android, and I've been Android forever, so of course I'm not on there. But I was listening to one of the vloggers talk about how a lot of preachers and a lot of singers, gospel singers, and a whole bunch of people in the church have found their way onto this into this Clubhouse app. And so they were talking about how some of our very famous preachers, pastors, prophets, and bishops were online. One being Bishop or Apostle Eckhart, and another being Brian Carn, and another being Bishop Senegal or something like that. I'm not familiar with him, but he was. I guess Apostle Eckhart was, doing his whatever they do in the clubhouse, and then I guess you have the ability to invite people on stage, but this is a voice only, it's no video, voice only. And so somebody or a moderator invited Brian Carn to come on stage. Well, his mic was unmuted, and they heard him saying, "No, I don't want him on the stage." And so I guess one of the other preachers, now I'm talking about preachers and pastors and things, he went to and created his own clubhouse and started, I guess, calling out Apostle Eckhart, uh, saying how he shouldn't have been saying that against Brian Carn, and everybody knows Prophet Brian Carn. But I was saying, Amy, I think my take on it is I think some of the younger pastors have lost this form of level of respect that we've had in the past for our elders and our senior pastors, if you will, because I don't know everything about this clubhouse what is it, clubhouse, okay, this
Yeah, it's
clubhouse
the clubhouse.
app. But I know the pastors have a lot of time on their hands during this season, but I don't know if the respect level of the younger pastors have faltered by the wayside as we're moving into this new uh, millennial generation, or this new I don't even know what they calling them, X, not the X, the Y generation.
I don't even. I get all
All
confused
the
now. They
different
created
letters,
some new names.
generation X, generation Y, generation whoever. But I would be afraid, Amy. I would be afraid to go and create another room and start talking about an apostle. Wouldn't you?
See, I know I wouldn't have created another room. Not about that. I mean, but who went and created another room? Was that Demetrius Senegal?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him at all, but he's
I'm not
another.
familiar. I'm not familiar with him either. So he opened up another room and he started talking about Pastor Eckert
Yes,
because
and
he
how?
accidentally said how he felt and forgot that he was not on mute.
Yeah,
Okay, so do you think Eckert should apologize?
no, no. What he should not apologize. He'll have nothing to apologize for. I just think that there's a lack of respect that we once had for our older pastors and apostles, that now this new day pastors preaching with skinny jeans on, with the
Oh
shirt
Lordy.
untucked, with the tattoos on the arms.
Oh my
This
goodness.
new day generation of pastors maybe have thinking they're equal to the fathers. So they think that they have
Mm,
the right or the gusto or the testosterone to go and kind of like check the father in the gospel.
okay. Well, from my
Something wrong with
perspective,
that. Mhm.
I do think that there is something wrong with that. Because I definitely I wouldn't have personally wanted to challenge him like that publicly, openly. I don't know if he felt that he was able to do that because you can't record anything on Clubhouse. You used to be
Mhm.
able to record the conversation. They've made certain updates and everything. You can't record that anymore. So I don't know if he felt like he could say whatever he want to say. I'm not sure. It could be ego that was thrown in there as well. But I personally don't think Eckhart needs to apologize because he said how he feel. He said how he felt. It just so happened he was off mute, but
Mhm.
he doesn't have to back down on how he feels about it. Okay, now we know. Now everybody knows that's the way he feels. He don't
Mhm.
need to apologize because even if he's forced to apologize, he may not even be sincere
Mhm.
in doing it because he's just doing it because someone's telling him you need to do it.
Right.
I don't
Right.
think he
Right.
needs to apologize if that's the way he feels. And when he
Mhm.
gets to the point where he sees Carnes in a different light, then at that time he can approach him and say, you know what, I apologize because I thought A, B, C, D, F, G or whatever. But if that's the way he feels until it changes, I don't think he owes him apology.
Do you think that these new day preachers have lost a level of respect for the senior fathers, apostles, bishops who have laid the foundation for these new day preachers to walk on? Do you think they have lost a level of respect?
Um, See, I'm not even in that arena to even really know if that's the truth because everybody that I follow,
Mm-hmm.
everybody that I pay attention to, I mean, they are leaders. They're not,
Mm-hmm.
they are so high up that nobody, like for instance, TD Jakes, ain't nobody finna get on there talking bad about TD Jakes. I personally don't think. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like you got to be pretty bold to try to do that.
Yeah, that's why I
Um,
was saying
I
they
mean, I
getting
do
some
think
gusto from somewhere.
I do think that there is some boldness there, but I'm not sure if overall that's happening all over the place to be able to say, you know, that the majority of the bishops or pastors or younger apostles are disrespecting the older
Mm-hmm.
seasoned uh thought leaders,
Mm-hmm.
pastors, all that. I don't know, to be honest with
Okay.
you. I
Okay.
would like to hear your guys' comments on that. Do you think that there is a lack of disrespect of not acknowledging the ministers and pastors and bishops and apostles that's gone before you?
Mm-hmm. Look at the comment, Amy. It says, Robinette, times have not changed. The Bible is true. There is a lack of respect for the body of Christ as a whole. We live in perilous times. Men become lovers of self more than lovers of God. Read 2 Timothy 3. Okay. We are in perilous times for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about lovers of self and stuff, that's definitely, to me, I look at that as ego and a dominant type personality and don't care about anybody else's feelings. I don't care about what you think. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm the leader. I mean, that kind of
Mm-hmm. It says,
personality.
and I know Mom's saying we're in troublesome times, we're in perilous times, of which the Bible lets us know that we're going to encounter. Um, and she's saying the Bible has not, the times has not changed.
Put it back up there on the screen.
But I think times have changed. She says times
Times have
has not
no.
changed.
I think we have to have her clarify what she means by time has not changed because it's definitely changed. There's been
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that have changed since
Oh
the Bible
yes.
days.
Oh yes. A lot has changed. A lot of a lot of things have changed, Amy. And I think that during this season, Amy, of the coronavirus pandemic, I think that a lot of times people have pulled on the pastors to get their strength. What am I saying? I'm saying that if you're sick, you call in on the pastor to pray for you. And when it's time to get married, you call on the pastor to take you through premarital counseling and then get you married. Uh, if somebody died, you call on the pastor, right? If you want prayer for anything, if you're looking for a new job, you calling on the pastor to help you. So you pull in on the pastors. But during this pandemic, Amy, I think the tide is shifting. What am I saying? Let me tell you about a dream, Amy, that I had a couple of uh, months ago. I only told my husband about this dream, and it's a profound dream. And I think it'll help us as we proceed coming out of this coronavirus season. This dream that I had, Amy, I was preaching. I was to preach at my church, and but the setting was different. And I was had my message, and I couldn't find the message that I had prepared. It was I couldn't find it on my devices, and I usually always print out a copy just in case I had technical difficulties. But for some reason, I didn't have a copy, and I was like, my heart was pounding because I couldn't find the message that I was supposed to preach. And then all of a sudden, the Lord said, "You're going to preach. Just preach. God is able. Just preach on God is able." And then I was like, "Oh, Daniel 3. I could just go. I could just talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." I said, oh, I can just encourage the people. So I was looking up Daniel 3 real quick. And then, Amy, I was up there preaching, Amy, but behind me sat all of the pastors and the bishops and everybody. I mean, prestigious ones, prestigious pastors and stuff. And all of a sudden, they shifted the pulpit around. So you know how when you're preaching at church, the pastors sit behind you. Well, they moved. For some reason they shifted the whole pulpit around, and so now we're preaching to the pastors. The whole congregation was up encouraging the preachers, saying God is able.
Wow.
I
I
didn't tell
like
nobody
that.
but my husband about this
Woo.
dream.
I like
And
that.
this happened a couple of months ago, and I was like,
Wow.
"Oh my God!" It's like the pulpit had shifted, and now we've been drawing strength from the pastors. We've been pulling on them for strength, but now the pulpit switched around, and now we have to encourage the pastors who have been
Wow.
encouraging us all through
Mm.
the years. Because coronavirus has affected pastors so terribly because they shut down the churches pretty much, right?
Yes.
So I think that's why I have this kind of thing like, oh, you better respect the pastor, you better respect the man of God, you know. But Amy, during this season, if you have not, what do I want to say? What do I want to say? I think it's time for us to encourage, inspire, and motivate our own individual man of God, woman of God, whoever it may be, because this season has been traumatic for a lot of us, but even more traumatic for the pastors.
That's deep, Robin. That's deep.
So if someone tried to crucify the pastor, like we talked about last week with Jamal Bryan, no, don't crucify him. Not now. Not on this watch. Just leave him alone. Let him be. Let him be. Wrong, right, or indifferent, Amy. Wrong, right, or indifferent. Did you hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Let them believe, and let's encourage them because they were already stressed out. Because we already know pastors have one of the most stressful jobs that's been researched and studied. And so, yeah, what do you think about that dream, Amy?
That dream to me was very powerful. I like how it flipped the scene
Oh,
because I
she want
like
to come
how
on.
okay, I like how the dream flipped the screen because the question that I haven't heard, the question that I haven't, I should let me word it like this. Let me get my thoughts together.
Uh-huh.
I want to know who is there for the pastor? Who's there to
Ooh,
support the apostle? Who's
ooh,
there to support the bishop when they are going through? Since
hmm,
everybody's pulling on them all the time, expecting them to come over your house because this
hmm,
one's sick. The pastor didn't do this, the pastor didn't do that. Who is there for the pastor when the pastor is going through? So
hmm.
I like how in your dream it flipped. The congregation became the inspiration and the motivation to the pastor as the pastor was going through whatever
Yes,
it is that they're going through. Because we already know people are going to throw stones.
yes.
They're going to throw stones. They're going to do whatever it is to try to
Uh-huh.
bring you down
Hmm.
to where they feel comfortable with you at. You know what I mean? It's like, oh
Right.
no, you ain't supposed to be up here. You're supposed to be back down here. We're going to pull
Hmm.
you back down.
Right. Amy, who is encouraging the pastor besides his wife?
And sometimes it ain't even the wife, let the truth be told. I may be talking too much. I don't know. This is what's coming to me. Sometimes, I mean, there could be stress that's even in the house, and the wife
Hmm.
isn't even supported because she doesn't feel supported.
Right.
Who's there to support her? That's why you got to make sure you have the right team around you, the right people to encourage you, especially in stressful times.
Well, Amy, that's why I think that my dream scrapped my prepared message and said, you know what? Just encourage the people, encourage them and tell them that I'm able. I'm
God is
trying to say
able.
God is able. I'm trying to send it says the messenger link is not working at this time.
So the only option would be to send it to their email
Yeah,
address.
send me your email, System Accountant. I sent you a text, but just text me your email if you can't use that link that I sent you on the text message, and then I'll email it to you that way.
And if anybody else wants to join after, and just to let Robin introduce, let everybody know who Diane McCowan is.
Yep, if she get on, but definitely I'll. She's the first lady of Shekinah Tabernacle. She is married to Elder Pastor McCowan. I think she's coming on. She is a singer in her own right, a woman of God, evangelist. She rightly divides the word of God.
A
She
mother.
is mother, grandmother to a plethora of talented children and grandchildren, and yeah, no greats, just grandchildren. She is awesome. Let's bring her on, Amy.
All right, let's bring her on.
Hey, Sister McCowan.
God bless you. How are you?
Hello. We are
I'm
doing
good.
fantastic.
We are awesome.
Amen. Amen. I didn't do my hair, so I couldn't do
That's okay. We want to hear what you got to say.
I stayed home today. You know what? Ezra, the pastor, has a been doing a prayer every single 7 days a week starting
Hmm.
at 6 o'clock.
Hmm.
It's online, and anyone could call in.
Okay.
And we do this. Started out like 30 minutes. Now we may go to an hour, maybe sometime hour, 15 minutes. But
Hmm.
one of the things that the Lord had impressed upon my heart one day, you can call in and do you have a prayer request? Give us your prayer request. And then the one that's leading the prayer for that specific day will pray for all their. So my thing was, God had impressed upon me to pray for the ministers and the pastors. Do you know that there are pastors that
Hmm.
are walking out of their pulpit because of the discouragement or whatever? There are pastors that are committing suicide
Hmm.
because if they have nowhere to go, nowhere to turn, they feel, and they're just ending their lives. So we do
Wow.
have to have a responsibility and an obligation not only to pray for my brother and sister, but the one that's leading us as
Right.
we're following Christ. We're following
Hmm.
them as they follow Christ. We have a responsibility to pray for the man of God, to lift
Hmm.
him up, to uphold him in prayer
Right.
and accountability as well. So,
Hmm.
yes, I during this time and during this pandemic, what greater time now because they don't have, everybody, we're all isolated. We can't go here, we can't go there. We can't we everybody got to stay at home. So the man of God is, some don't have an outlet. Some don't
Right.
know anything about Facebook or anything like this. And if no one calls, or if no one, they get tired of talking to Chetty over there. Okay,
Hmm.
First Lady Chetty. Okay, she don't want to hear it. So he have
Right.
nobody to talk with, nobody
Hmm.
and they go through this, just studying the word. I'm just studying
Hmm.
the word. I'm just studying the word, and I'm praying. But then they, after so long, that gets kind of old to
Hmm.
them because
Mm-hmm.
they to declaring the word
Hmm.
and expounding on the word of God and doing it, but they don't have the pulpit to do it. So
Right.
some of these people are, and because of the burden of the financial burdens of the church, financial burdens of their own personal lives, their homes, whatever, they
Hmm.
may not have the means, especially those that have walked out of the field of working and totally give their lives over to the Lord and allowing the church to take care of them. If there's no church, who's taking care of them? Those bills are piling up and piling up. So we
Right.
have a responsibility and an obligation to lift up the man of God, their families, as never before. And it is imperative. We have to do it.
Right. Right. Right.
You said so many powerful things, and I want to touch back on. You had mentioned something about getting tired of. Sometimes you may get tired of calling the first lady. Is that Chet? Chet? Is that who that was? Who was Chet?
Yeah,
Chet, Miss
First Lady
McCowan?
Chetty.
Yeah, First Lady Chetty. You know what I mean? She may not even want to hear it anymore. So, what would be your suggestions
That's
or
what I'm saying.
tips? Your suggestion would be to let's get all these names together and have like a uh,
Me
prayer
as a
call.
yeah as a prayer, but me as a lay member,
Hmm.
pick up your phone and call your pastor, see how he's doing. Is there
Yeah.
something, if God lays on your heart to plant a seed in there, plant that seed. Don't be stubborn and
Hmm.
just hold on to your money. Well, I need mine too, just like he needed. No, if if the Holy Ghost has laid it on your heart and impressed on your heart to be a blessing, be a blessing. if
Yeah.
he if
Mm-hmm.
he tells you to be a blessing to your church, do that. Be obedient, and God will take care of you in your obedience.
Right.
He'll provide for you. That's our
Hmm.
responsibility. We got to call the man of God. And is there anything, Pastor? Can we? If you got the means, create a chat line and say, "Well, I'm gonna call sister. I'm calling mother such and so. I'm gonna call
Hmm.
deacon such and so. We gonna talk. Can we all sit down and just talk together?" They don't
Hmm.
know. Some of these men don't know nothing about this chat line and stuff like that. So if we
Hmm.
create anything that helps them, and drop. You ain't got to go inside the house. If the Lord places up on your heart to go get them food, go get the box of food and take it to their house. Ring the doorbell and just get back on in your car and call them
And
on the
keep
phone.
going.
I put some food out there for you, so you need to get it
Hmm.
so it won't go bad. There's
Right.
all kind of means
Hmm.
that we can do.
Yeah. So you saying not only prayer, we need to actually put some legs on our prayer and do something about it. Encourage the
Absolutely.
pastor. Financially bless them if you're able.
Absolutely.
You can make a difference
Absolutely.
even if it's 5, 10,
He
20,
encouraged you
15
when you
thousand
down.
dollars. Exactly. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm getting encouraged myself. Oh,
That is
wow.
so true.
Amen.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Do you have anything else you would like to add,
Okay, I'm leaving.
Sister
I
McCowan?
love y'all.
All right.
Okay, all
Take
right. Love
care.
you too.
Bye bye.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Wow, Amy, it's deep. She's right. She said it's imperative, Amy, that we reach out and encourage. So there's something to that dream.
There is something to that dream. There is something to the dream, and
Yep,
she confirmed that we need to encourage the pastors because it's stressful right now.
it is. It's stressful, especially she's right. If you left your job and now your sole income is the church, and then they turn around and close the church down, so now you're trying to maneuver. If you weren't already on social media, now you're trying to maneuver through this unknown territory. For some of them, we all know about social media, but for some of them,
Mm-hmm.
it's foreign, and so they do need some encouragement. Oh, okay. All right, we're in the right vein, Amy. We're in the right vein.
Yes.
They
We.
ask for
What are they?
cash apps. They ask for cash apps all the time. Cash app your pastor. Cash app the first lady. I didn't say me. I'm not asking for nothing. Cash app
Well, you're
your
not a first lady. Ooh.
not. I'm no first lady, no pastor. Cash app your pastor. Cash app your first lady. Now, whatever, Amy, whatever I tell people to do, I do myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell people to do nothing that I'm not willing to do myself. Zeal your pastor, zeal your the person who you've been eating off of during this pandemic. If it's your TV person or internet person, I'm sure they had a cash app right on the top. I'm gonna do the same. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I liked her idea of creating like an atmosphere, like on Zoom or something, to be able to set that up, and then everyone can have like a prayer call or a call to uplift the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
because some people aren't tech savvy. But if you're tech savvy, you can probably go and help somebody else that's not tech savvy, and all of you guys get on the phone or
Yeah.
get on the computer and make that happen.
Mom says, Sister McCowan, you are so right. There are so many at home today that need to hear from our church family. Thank you so much for your insight, Lady McCowan. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are so many, even members who have been stuck at home, Amy,
Mm-hmm.
because of this pandemic. They need to be encouraged too.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
Any other questions coming through there?
No, anybody else
No
want to
other.
come on, and I can send you a link if you want to come on and share your thoughts or share your insight as it relates to what we're talking about right now. Encouraging our pastors during this pandemic, because they have been affected even the more so than a lot of us. Some of us may have gotten a pay cut, Amy. They slashed my check for for 2 months straight.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, but it's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But some people, when they slash your stuff, then you are affected even the
Mm-hmm.
more. And so I think we definitely need to reach out. Send a text. We're in this text generation. Send your man of God a text, encouraging text. He'd be shocked probably. Hey, what? They encouraging me? Oh my. He'd be like, what is going on? This has got to be God.
Right. And you know what? There's probably some people saying, I do that all the time. Well, we're talking about the people who don't do it. There
Uh-huh.
needs to be more people that do it. There needs to
Yeah.
be more people that to be that one that come back and say thank you.
Ah. And Amy, Diana McCowan is speaking from the role of the first lady, and so she knows firsthand what she's talking about
Mm-hmm.
because she lives it.
Absolutely. Actually, that
Hmm.
was a good tip that she gave for any church that wants to do that. They can implement that. It's real easy to do that through Zoom or Streamyard. Streamyard.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Zoom
Mm-hmm.
is now doing unlimited. They changed their 40-minute rule to unlimited during the pandemic. I just got that notification for free, unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they need to start doing. We need to start doing that.
Yes.
Um, our little program just changed all the way around. We were supposed to be talking about something else, and then this ended up going this way. And I'm like all discombobulated, trying to figure out what's next because I had something else in plan.
Oh, it's always God good when the shifts are changed. The gears are shifted. When the
Yes, the
gifts shift,
gears.
you just have to be flexible. You just have to be
Yeah,
flexible. You know,
we just got to
what can
be flexible.
what can you
Nothing.
do?
There's nothing we can do. So, I do want to touch on while we're here, being that we are in a stressful time. I don't know if pastors take care of themselves as far as self care, but I
Hmm.
think they should also implement time out to, for themselves. That's just carved out for them to focus on themselves. We
Hmm.
should all do that because we cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm.
So, what self care tips from a pastoral perspective? You're not a pastor, but you are a licensed minister, and you're around a whole lot of ministers. What would your suggestions be as far as self care?
Take a break. I think in the hustle and the bustle of doing ministry work, uh, I think a lot of times we don't know how to take a pause and retreat. So take a break, retreat, get refilled, because you say you can't operate from an empty cup.
You can't pour.
You can't pour from an empty cup because the cup is already empty. So that means you have to be filled again. That's that song that I sang on that record that Ronnie wrote. Fill me again.
Oh, I
Fill me
forgot
again.
about that.
So I,
Yes.
I'm doing ministry. I'm singing. I may preach here and there, or they preaching every Sunday. The pastor's preaching every Sunday, just about. And then there has to be a point where you stop and say, "Lord, fill me again." And that's the time for refreshing. And that's the time to stop. That's the time to ponder. That's the time to relax, get away. Some pastors put it in their calendar every year. They're going to be gone for this 2 weeks. They're going to be gone for this 2 weeks, and you may have to be gone every quarter because of the hustle bustle. You get just into a routine that you ripping and running everywhere. You're not getting enough sleep. You just going and doing. Stop and say, Lord, fill me again. And that's my biggest thing. I think people need to do is to stop and get refueled for the journey.
Hmm. I think it should be, instead of once a year, 12,
I
2
was gonna say
weeks,
every quarter. Yeah.
or every quarter. I think it should be like every month, because they deal with so many people and different personalities and different mindsets. To me, that's a lot. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
dealing with customers and their mindset, and you got to keep pivoting and changing the conversation to adjust to this personality and all that kind of stuff. That's draining. I think once a month would be good, to take out at least a day. At least a day. I mean, I would
Mm-hmm.
say more than a month if it's just a day, but at least a day to recharge.
Right. You have to be recharged.
Hmm. Well, that's all I have, Robin, since we went a whole different direction.
It's been an hour. Can you imagine?
I know it's been an hour already. That the time just flew. Time flew. And I'm glad Sister McCowan came on and gave her point of view, because I liked everything she said.
Yes. And she used some strong words too. She said crucial and imperative. Like this is an absolute must
It's a
that we have to
must.
do. I'm gonna do it.
Yes, it's a must.
I'm a,
Yes, I agree.
anytime you get a charge to do something, I'm the first one that takes up the charge. I'm the first one that takes the charge by the horns and say, done.
Well, you know what? At least you listen to that, because a lot of people, they get that charge and then they're like, "Oh, never mind." They do something else. They don't do
Mhm.
whatever it is they're supposed to be doing,
That you were charged to do.
that you were charged to do. So it's like,
Mhm.
just do it.
All
Just
right.
do it.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you've been encouraged, if you enjoyed the commentary, if you enjoyed the information that we've given about the vaccines and about encouraging our pastors, like and share this video. We are getting ready to get out of here. Thank you so much for spending this hour with us. It's been a joy. It's been our pleasure to be with you all. Amy, where can they
Yes.
find you?
You can find me on Instagram at iam.super.natural right now. I'm working on my website, getting everything fixed up behind the scenes, putting systems in place to be able to serve you if you need me.
All right, Amy, you see I'm moving to the beat in my head. If you want to
Yes.
find me, you can find me at robinettereed.com. I'm always on Facebook. You can always find me there. You can send me a message through Messenger, and I will reply. Come on. Mm. Everybody, clap your hands. Candid Conversations with me and my sister. Candid Conversations, won't you join in with us? Candid Conversations with me and my sister. Candid Conversations, won't you
Won't you
join with
join with
us?
us?
Hey, thank you so much. God bless you
Thank
all.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.